Hi, welcome back to Technology Review. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Technology Review TV. Remember to give us a thumbs up. Or Twitter, twitter.com/Mac Jackson Jr. Or go to my website at macjacksonjr.com. In this Spotlight segment, we call it the Business Spotlight. I'm here with our sponsor and guest, Vernon Dixon. Hello, Vernon. Welcome again.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Glad to be back.
Yes. Welcome again to our show. Vernon's here with us on a monthly basis talking about the extreme growth in cryptocurrency, featuring Bitcoin and others as well.
Yeah.
But definitely to educate our viewing audience on what cryptocurrency is and how to be a part of it. Welcome again, Vernon.
Thank you.
Yes.
You've probably heard about what's going on with the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin in particular. So,
yes, definitely. There's some stuff going on with the currency increase, right?
Yeah. It actually right now it's dropping a little bit, and also
wow.
it had gone up to over $3,000 in some exchanges, even higher than that in others.
Mm-hmm.
But it's dropped down. Before I came in, it looked like about $2,100 today.
Dropped $2,100.
It dropped down to $2,100 today.
I thought you told me it was a couple points.
Yeah,
but
no,
$2,100.
that's fluctuating, but that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
And there's reasons for it.
Yes, definitely. Tell our I'm sure investors out there reasons why is it gone down so much.
For those of you who are looking at cryptocurrency and notice that the funds have decreased quite significantly over the last week. The reason for that is what we call, one of the reasons is that a lot of investment firms came into the market, buying up or creating offerings, initial currency offerings.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of them have taken their profits
gotcha.
out of the network. So it got so high, there was a bubble fear for one time, but there's no issue with bubble. But people have decided to take their profits.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that they're taking their profits is because as of August 1st, there may be a significant disruption in the blockchain network.
And what kind of disruption? What kind of disruption would it be, Vernon, that may happen in the blockchain?
For those of you who have been involved in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in particular, you'll notice that the network has gotten extremely slow
mm-hmm.
in terms of processing.
Yes.
I mean, some transactions have taken as much as 30 days to get processed, depending on the type of transaction it is.
Okay.
So you can imagine going into, like the D as an example, and buying breakfast, and you're trying to pay for it with Bitcoin. They're not going to stand there with you for 2 or 3 days trying to get their funds for that.
True.
So it's creating that type of a problem. But what is happening is that the network or the folks have gotten so involved in Bitcoin that it's over taxed the network, the blockchain network for Bitcoin.
Okay.
And so with that overtaxing, they're looking at extending or making the block sizes larger.
Mm-hmm.
And that's creating a problem because there's 2 different schools of thought. Actually, there's 3, but 2 prominent different schools of thought on how to do that. And so right now, I'm telling my clients as well, don't do any transactions as it gets closer to August 1st, actually the end of July and August 1st, until things settle down. But if you've got funds, I want you to put it in a wallet. I'm having them put it in a wallet and not leave it on the exchange. And there's a reason for that as well. So,
should we talk about that?
Yeah.
Why put it in the wallet versus putting it on the exchange?
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Well, in terms of that, the way that it's happening is that there's 2 areas of thought in terms of how this increase in block size should be done. And one is called segregated witness, and the other one is called user defined soft fork, meaning that the large mining companies, I mean, there's firms out there, there are groups out there that have put a mining data center together, and
mm-hmm.
a lot of these mining contracts are big.
Mm-hmm.
And so they seem to be trying to manage the network themselves when it's supposed to be a decentralized network, not a centralized network. So the users are saying we don't want the miners to make the decision on how we should do this increase, because then they'll figure that they are running the network, and that's not the way it was designed. And so that's why the controversy is in there. And so, but they're waiting on a larger number of users or miners to make a decision in terms of which way to go. Right now, there's quite a few large mining companies looking at the segregated witness portion of it.
Okay.
But there's also the users down there kind of fighting that concept.
I see.
And this is going to, it could possibly create two Bitcoins, two different Bitcoins.
Wow. Two Bitcoins.
Two Bitcoins.
Bitcoin A, Bitcoin B, or
Bitcoin A, Bitcoin B, if you want to call it that. But I mean, and there's still nothing to really be afraid of other than waiting until the dust settles, because they had a split with a change in Ethereum, kind of like the same way, what we call a soft fork.
Right.
And that soft fork created Ethereum, the regular Ethereum, and then Ethereum Classic. So there's still money to be made. It just depends on how you do it. As an example, when the split happened and Ethereum Classic came on board, it ended up being Ethereum came out day one as $1. But within that same period, it went to $19. So if you had funds to buy Ethereum, you were able to make a significant return on that.
That's true.
And like you can tell, Ethereum is still going up and Ethereum Classic is still going up. So you've got two coins running on the blockchain network in two diverse paths,
Okay.
but they're still economically viable and
Will
valuable.
they come back together as one, or is it that they're now two distinct entities?
It would be two distinct entities. Ethereum, as
Okay.
it splits, will stay two distinct entities. That's hard to say.
Okay, so with that said, is it possible for them to split again? Maybe become a third or fourth?
Well, in terms of the technology and the way that the Ethereum, as an example, was set up, there's no future requirement as it's determined now that there will be one in the future.
I see.
Right now, with Bitcoin being the way that it was initially set up and the size that it is, if they do this fork or this change and make the block size significant enough to speed up the transactions, we could still continue to run with the one Bitcoin.
Right.
But if it does split, we can run with two. But with running with two Bitcoins, meaning that it'll last longer, because both of the blocks will be bigger, but it'll just have two methods of how they did the fork.
I see. I see. So they may not go further. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense. Wow. So real quick there, I had someone ask about the coin called Lite, L-I-T.
Litecoin.
Litecoin.
Litecoin. Well, yeah, and one of the things, and I'm glad that they asked the question. Litecoin is one of the altcoins. You know, it's one other than Bitcoin.
Alternative coins.
But everything is based on what Bitcoin's value is.
Right.
So there are several coins that are being developed around the blockchain because of applications being done. Ripple as one, the financial institutions are developing applications on the Ripple blockchain for contract management, financial transactions. Litecoin, I'll have to do a little bit more study. I don't know all the details around that, but it is an application developed around that as well. Litecoin, Dash, Dodge, and Ripple are three of the, and Monero are three of the four of the coins that have application developments around the blockchain development, and so it creates an application which increases the value of those coins.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. That's very, very good educational there for us, Vernon. Let's see. Well, how would our audience there get a hold of you to invest in this? It sounds like this is a good time to be a part of this.
Well, and now again, I'm telling my clients to, if they've got funds in the exchanges, take your funds out of the exchange and keep it on your wallet. For instance, if you've got a blockchain wallet, keep your money in the blockchain wallet and not on the exchange, because you don't know what direction the exchange is going to run in.
Okay, but the wallet there is encrypted and protects your
right.
Your
It
data.
protects you, and make sure you've got your password and your keys, so that you don't forget those. And then step back and don't do any investing on the 31st of the month or the 1st of August. Give it a couple of days, let the network settle down, and do that. But you can reach me if you have questions. My name again is Verner Dixon. My number is 702-580-9397. And you can reach me at, let me give you an easy one, VME Online 7 vmeonline7@gmail.com. That's vmeonline7@gmail.com.
Very good. Thank you, Vernon, for being with us here today. We appreciate it here on Technology Review. We'll be right back, folks, after these messages.